Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Narayanaya. The story of Bharata, son of Rishabhadeva, a great example of a great ruler after whom our land got the name Bharatavarsha. Following the path to God realization, Bharata, at the end of 10 million years of rule, retired to the hermitage of Pulaha, a mind-born son of Lord Brahma, the creator, on the banks of the holy river Gantaka, also known as Chakranadi or Gantaki. While seated fully absorbed in repeating the sacred syllable Om, he spotted a pregnant deer, scared of a lion and in fright, leaping across the stream. In the process, the mother deer died and the prematurely born baby deer was left without mother. Bharata, being ever kind-hearted and noble, developed an instant affection, carefully lifted it up and started caressing it and nurturing it, so much so that his entire care and attention fell towards the deer. Now, Bharata's birth as a deer, deeply entrenched in the thought of the fawn, even at the time of death, he was reborn as a deer that came to the hermitage of Pulastya and Pulaha, known as Salagrama Kshetra, and remained there until the exhaustion of the stock of karma responsible for his birth as a deer. Half immersed in the holy water, the deer cast off its body, and this process of end to one's life, half immersed in water, is known as Ardhajala, conferred purity, and he was reborn as a human being. So now, Bharata's third birth. First as a king, then as a deer, and now as a Brahmana, as a mendicant. Bharata was reborn as a twin, along with a sister and 8 brothers in the family of a holy Brahmana in the line of sage Angira, the mind-born son of Lord Brahma. With his ability to remember past births and in his eagerness to avoid attachment, as experienced in previous Janmas, that he could vision, he started behaving oddly despite being initiated to the holy Gayatri mantra. His thought was only of the Lord, and he did not pay any attention to attire or food, nor surroundings. He got detached in mind so much from the mundane, materialistic world that he would partake of what frugal diet he was given as wages for his work by his own brothers. Now he was assigned the task of guarding the fields against animals. And while guarding the fields one dark night, he was all of a sudden carried away by tribal fox who wanted a person for human sacrifice in order to please goddess Bhadragali, for their chieftain to be blessed with a male child. As he was about to cut off the head of Bharata, who was perfectly calm and had his mind fully set on the lotus feet of Lord Sri Hari, a furious Bhadragali emerged from there, her divine body severely burning with the spiritual glory of the Brahmana, that is Bharata. The perpetrators of a heinous crime to a holy Brahmana had all their heads chopped off by the same sword which they were ready to use against the Brahmana by the goddess. Thus, Lord himself appeared in the form of the goddess to protect a true and devoted Brahmana. That is Bharata, born in a Brahmana family. Now, yet another facet of Bharata as Jada Bharata. Jada Bharata, the name for Bharata for his being a dull-witted dunce without any reaction to others' taunts or rudeness, happened to be picked up by the palanquin bearers of the king of Sindhu and Sauvira, by name Rahugana, for bearing the palanquin on one side. Bharata was appearing stout and young, but dull-witted, and so the palanquin bearers considered him to be the best for the hard job of carrying the palanquin. Bharata's mind being fully focused on the Lord's lotus feet, he was taking leisurely steps in his own way that caused tilting and unbalanced movement of the palanquin. On being told of the new bearer's uncaring attitude to the king, the latter spoke taunting words to Bharata, like, "Oh, you must be tired bearing the palanquin all the while, as you are emaciated and not strong of body or mind." This was actually teasing Bharata because he was appearing stout, well-built, and despite which he was not able to carry the palanquin and walking properly without tilting. However, an undisturbed Bharata merely responded with queries like, "How does tiredness of work or fatigue of body affect one who does not see anything as his body, but only perceives the self, the ultimate truth, the all-consciousness?" Further, he added, "Today you may be thinking I am bearing this for you, but tomorrow the roles may reverse." Meaning, it may be you that you may carry me instead. Who knows? Everything is at God's behest. An astounded Rahugana got off the palanquin and fell at Bharata's feet with a query. "Am I seeing Kapila Muni, seeking whom I had started out on this journey, as my sole goal was to learn the path of yoga from him?" The king sought pardon from Jadabharata and went back with the knowledge of the truth, the difference between physical body and the unattached soul. This land of ours got the name Bharatavarsha after Bharata, who had set the highest and most difficult example of totally being merged with the Almighty in thoughts as well as deeds. Such souls are totally detached from the body. It was thus that Bharata never found others' taunts or words as affecting him in any way. The same experience was of all those who were able to be fully absorbed in yoga and meditation for countless number of years without feeling of thirst or hunger or being affected by external forces. Some quotable examples are of Valmiki, Sage Chavana, Hiranyakashipu, who were all covered with handles. Their bodies were not experiencing anything insofar as their inner souls were concerned. Even more glorious examples were of the 5-year-old Dhruva and Prahlada, whose minds were only on Lord Sri Hari and never experienced hunger or pain connected with the body. That is why it is said that soul is unattached. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Narayanaya. Sarvatra Govinda Nama Sankirtanam Govinda Govinda. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu.